In this topic, we will talk about categories for annual review. And so let's continue exploring the building blocks of our strong annual reviews. So far, we have looked at some foundational categories: company mission and values, customer service, quality control, problem solving, and protection, right? In last chapter, last topic. So each of these helps paint a fuller picture of how your employees are contributing to your team and the organization. But the truth is, there's no one size fit all formula for annual reviews. Different roles, teams, and industries may require different categories, different criteria. That's why in this module, part 2, we are going to explore a few more categories that you can include in your reviews to make them even more well-rounded and tailored. They help you capture the human side of performance, not just what's on paper, but how someone shows up every day. So let's dive in and spend your review toolkit, because the more specific and relevant your categories are, the more effective your reviews will be. So as usual, I would like to start off with a quote said by Ian Hutchinson. Your number one customers are your people. Look after employees first, and then customers last. So this quote might sound surprising at first. Look after customer last. But let's unpack what Ian Hutchinson is really saying here. He's not dismissing the importance of customers. He's making a bold point. Your employees come first. Because when you take care of your people, when you support them, respect them, and develop them, they take care of your customers. Think about it. Who delivers the service? Who solves the problems? Who represents your brand every single day? It's your employees. If they feel undervalued, overworked, or unheard, that energy will reflect in every customer interaction. But when employee feels trusted, empowered, and appreciated, magic happens. They go the extra mile. They become brand ambassadors. They don't just serve customers, they care for them. So if you really want loyal customers and strong businesses, start by creating a loyal, supported, and engaged team. Because happy employees don't just create happy customers, they create success. So let's start off the topic with a question. Have you ever been in a job interview and heard the question, how would you describe your work style? It's very common, right? And for good reason. Because work style is not just a buzzword. It's a reflection of how someone naturally approach their work, make decisions, and contribute to our team. Work style is closely tied to personality. It influences how people plan, collaborate, problem solve, and even handle pressure. And that's why it's a great category to include in your annual reviews, especially if you want to build stronger, more balanced teams. Now, before you start rating work styles, pause and ask yourself, what kind of work style fit these roles or teams? Is flexibility key? Do you need more structure? Are you looking for innovation or reliability? There is no one size fits all here. It depends on your needs. Here are just a few common work styles to consider. For example, collaborative, that is, loves teamwork and group problem solving. Independent, works best alone and self-driven and focused. Planner, he or she prefers structure, strategy, and preparation before acting. Doer, he or she takes quick action and keeps momentum moving. Or innovator, she or he brings new ideas, creative solutions, and fresh thinking. Or traditionalist, he or she sticks to proven methods and reliable systems. Or organizer, he or she keeps things in order, thrives in structure, and brings calms to chaos. Or adapter, he or she is flexible, thrives in change, and quickly pivot when needed. Or controller, he or she likes to oversee details, make decisions, and steer the process. So here's the thing, people don't fit into just one box. Most people are a blend of a few work styles, and that's what makes teams dynamic. So when you add work style to your review process, you are not just evaluating performance, you are learning how your people work best, and with that insight, you can lead more effectively, delegate more strategically, and build a stronger, more compatible team. Another point that I would like to highlight here is about a category that often goes unnoticed but has a huge impact on a company's bottom line: resource management. It's not just for finance or operations. It's something every employee plays a role in, whether they realize it or not. So, what exactly is resource management? It's the ability to use companies' resources like time, supplies, and money in an efficient and effective way. And that makes it a powerful category to include in your annual review process. Why? Because employees who manage resources well don't just do their jobs, they help companies thrive. So, how do you measure it? Start by asking this question: is this employee helping us conserve or waste our resources? And it doesn't have to be complicated. Let me give you a few real-world examples. An employee who rethinks a process to save time and boost team efficiency, or someone who prints double-sided to cut down on paper usage, or the employee who spots obsolete supply orders and speaks up, helping the company avoid unnecessary spending. So these are the small actions add up to big savings over time, and more than that, they show ownership. They show that the employee is not just clocking in, they are thinking, improving, and contributing to the bigger picture. So when you include resource management in your reviews, you are sending a clear message. We value people who take care of what we have. And that mindset, that's what drives long-term success. Let's face it, whether in life or at work, communication is everything. You spend more than a third of your life at work, which means that the way you listen, the way you talk, the way you write and respond to others directly affects your success and your relationship. In fact, most workplace conflicts don't come from bad intentions. They come from miscommunication, a mixed message, a wrong tone, and awkward silence. And suddenly, tension rises. But the good news is communication skills can be developed. And that's why they deserve a place in your annual review process. So what are we really looking for when we talk about communication skills? Let's break it down into a few clear observable behaviors. Does the employee recognize when something needs to be communicated, or do they let problems build? Do they listen actively or just to reply, but to understand? Or do they choose the right time and place for sensitive discussion? Or can they express concerns or feedback respectfully and clearly? Do they use body language that supports their messages? And finally, do they speak with an appropriate tone and volume, especially under pressure? These skills are not just nice to have, they are the glue that holds a team together. When employees communicate well, work flows better, right? Trust builds faster and problems get solved sooner. So don't underestimate this category in your reviews because when communication improves, almost everything improves, from collaboration and customer service to morale and productivity. Let's talk about something that can truly elevate your workplace: teamwork. Sure, one talented individual can achieve a lot, but a team can achieve so much more. Teamwork isn't just a buzzword. It's about people coming together, bringing different skills, strengths, and perspectives to complete a shared goal. And when done right, it transforms a group of individuals into a united, high-performing force. Why include teamwork in your annual review? Because when your people work well together, everyone wins. Teamwork builds camaraderie. It creates familiarity and strengthens relationships. Instead of workplace drama, you get workplace connection. When employees collaborate on a project, they communicate constantly. That communication helps people feel more comfortable with one another, which means they are more likely to ask questions, share ideas, and offer support. And that's where your growth happens. It also unlocks something powerful: cross-learning. People pick up new skills just by working with someone who does things differently. They expand their knowledge, their comfort zones, and ultimately their value to the team. So when you are reviewing performance, don't just ask, what did this person accomplish alone? Ask, how well did they contribute to the team? Because a strong team player doesn't just get their own work done, they lift everyone around them. That's the power of our teamwork. And that's why it absolutely deserves a spot in your performance compositions. So after we talk about all these points, as usual, let me tell you a story about change and how the way we communicate, it can make all the difference. At Rocking Panda Toys Company, there has been a recent change in management. With the change came a new annual review process. Now, understandably, not everyone was thrilled. In fact, many employees felt uneasy. They assumed the reviews were just a formal way to criticize their work. Take Emma, for example. She's been with the company for 3 years and isn't a big fan of change, She started feeling anxious and skeptical about new system. So she decided to talk it out with her coworker, Darcy, who also joined the company around the same time. To Emma's surprise, Darcy had a completely different take. She had already spoken with her supervisor, who walked her through the goals behind the review. Categories like teamwork, resource management, and communication. He explained that the purpose wasn't to point fingers, but to help employees grow and build a stronger team. Hearing this directly from someone she trusted and someone who had taken the time to understand the change made Emma feel a lot better. In fact, she went from being resistant to actually feeling excited about the review. So, what are the takeaways here? Change can feel threatening until people feel informed, heard, and supported. Communication and transparency matter more than we think. So, after you listen this story, you may want to consider 2 questions. Why was Darcy more comfortable with the new review process than Emma at first? Second question, what helped shift Emma's perspective about the annual review process? These are the 2 questions. You may want to think about it. You may want to write down the answer. Of course, I will share my point of view as well. So let me share with you the answer that I have for the first question. Why was Darcy more comfortable with the new review process than Emma at first? I think because Darcy had already spoken with her supervisor, who explained the categories and purpose of the review. That helped her understand that the intention was to support and develop employees, not just evaluate them. Because she had that context, she felt informed and reassured. So that's the answer for the first question. Second question, what helped shift Emma's perspective about the annual review process? For me, I think talking to Darcy gave Emma a new perspective. Darcy explained what she learned from the supervisor, including how the review was tied to positive goals like teamwork and communication. This helped Emma reframe the review as a tool for growth rather than criticism, making her feel more optimistic and open to the change. So these are the things that I want to share with you. See you in next topic.